It's Unk Nephew, baby. Drop the beat.
Hit that beat. Yeah. A lot of stuff on my mind right now, man. I gotta kick this freestyle about the Unk Nephew podcast. It's Unk Nephew. Unk Nephew. You know what it do, it's Unk Nephew. We at the damn fool. We don't go to school, it's Unk Nephew. Unk Nephew. Coming to you. Yeah, you know what it do, son. Yeah. Ray Dick can't get hard.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I got bars. My name's Jerrel, I'm nephew.
I'm not digging this at all.
I don't go to school. I'm real cool.
Parochial
this
school.
Nigga ain't fool.
Don't call me a
always
nigga on the
mad
mic.
cause I'm listening to rap music he don't like. I'm always spitting hard on the mic. I like white girls and black girls. It's a hot world. Wait, what?
That shit was terrible.
It's trash. That was
Man, that's
I'm not gonna lie to you.
What are we doing?
Yo, that's a hard ass intro.
What are we doing? They love it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. It is the Unk and Nephew podcast, Unk with a K, because we kings around here. And you know it's going to be a great show when Ray actually decides to put down his phone for once before the show starts.
I'm trying to order a new chair off of Wish.com.
I'm in the middle of the intro. I am in the middle.
I need a new... Where are we at? Where are we at?
We're at a different studio now. Well, now
in
living
a
room.
sweatshop.
We're in a living. It's a nice living. These seats are very comfortable for me because I'm in shape and I fit the chair. But
you're not in shape. You're just small. That's all you are.
We don't got buttons anymore. I was gonna do a button.
There's no button.
But yeah, Unk Nephew, Jerrel Beamon, man. I'm nephew. This.
Ray Jackson, the other studio got raided, so we're here now.
Yeah, it was a Rico. On the studio.
So we had to move. We'll be in a few different places.
We're
on location now.
We good now though. We're safe. We're in a safer. We're amongst some quiet suburban whiteness right now.
I wouldn't call this suburbs.
And you. But either way, Unk Nephew, y'all know what it is, man. Like and subscribe. Unk Nephew podcast, Unk with a K. It's a podcast about two comedians from Dayton, Ohio, and our generational differences. I'm 21, Ray's 50 again. This is his fourth time.
That's all you
50.
need to know.
But it's not even about us right now. Right now, it's about a very, and I really mean this when I sincerely mean very special guest that we have today.
Special.
Because he's going back, Monday? I don't even know when he's going back, but we got him for a quick second. We supposed to have somebody else here tonight,
from
but
LA.
he slid through for us showing love, so show a lot of love to the very funny comedian straight from Cincinnati originating Tyrone Hawkins.
Woo!
Tyrone.
Thank y'all. I'm glad to be here, man.
Thank you, OG. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I tonight, it was pretty easy to cancel out our guests. I thought it was going to be harder to get rid of them so that I could do this show. But, I made the call, and suddenly they can't be here. Here I am.
There it is.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm more scared than when we was in the Rico drug studio.
That's what I do, man. When I want to be around somebody or go somewhere, man, I just make it happen.
Hey, whatever. We don't need to know how you made it happen.
There we go. Yeah, my dudes.
This is the Super Bowl edition of our show.
Woo!
Since it's Super Bowl weekend.
Free Doritos.
We have a calendar here now. So.
Oh, wait a minute. He, the
yeah,
Doritos,
man.
Ray told me, didn't
he?
Yeah,
the
bro.
Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl.
Right. Tyrone, we'll let you tell about it then.
Yeah, how'd that even come about, man?
We did 4 Doritos Super Bowl commercials.
4,
ladies and gentlemen. That's the camera now.
Yeah.
4.
So hundreds of millions of people have seen this man.
And still don't know who I am.
Don't know who the fuck he is at all.
They just he be trying to hold the bag the same way from the commercial sometimes.
Doritos.
He'll be like, oh,
be eating like, look familiar.
I only eat the full triangles pieces.
Oh, it never be.
It can never be. I don't eat the broken ones.
It never be a broken. It's never a real how you.
Those
really
don't exist
Doritos.
in Hollywood.
Nah.
Hollywood.
Only full triangular Doritos are eaten.
How many times he probably accidentally grabbed her like, oh, cut, God damn, we told you, grab a full triangle.
No. These Doritos were placed back in the bag in pristine condition so that I could not pull out a crumb. They were all top flight.
Yeah, they were
Doritos.
all, they pour them in a bag
And they separate them.
and they separate them for all the good Doritos. Then they put them in the bag.
Right. Just like they did in Sparta.
Get the Doritos that he had
300.
to perform to.
All of the weak and sickly must go.
Oh my! So they segregated off the little weak
The bullshit
Doritos.
Doritos were not included.
You don't see
in
no-
making of the
Hold
commercial.
on, Ray.
You don't see no curly end triangle.
This is
Dorito.
Dorito supremacy.
This
I want to
Dorito.
see a broken Dorito
You're not
in the
gonna
commercial.
see. No, you won't.
I think it deserves to be seen.
No, you won't.
You said that you're a part of the.
It's like a
You're
pyramid.
part of the Dorito line.
It's like this.
It's the Illuminati.
I was the
That's
P-
why the Illuminati
I was
shaped like a
I was
Dorito.
a PA. I had to make sure them Doritos were put in there. I was in the background.
You was like,
they're ready. Doritos are ready.
We are in someone's house, Ray. Quiet.
Man, this is a veterinarian. There's a cat right there licking his nuts.
The cat's all right. I was gonna say the cat's adorable, but then you made it nasty. But no, in all seriousness, how did that really all come about? 4 times Super Bowl Dorito commercial. That's interesting. Like,
Doing comedy, somebody saw me on stage, and some producers saw me, liked me. A couple other guys who they knew hit me up and see if it worked in the schedule. Once we did the first one, they kept the same crew. You know, you do a TV show or commercial, something, and you always want to keep the same grip, the same director, the same producers and stuff. So we became a team, and then about, I think our second or third Dorito commercial hit all the way to the ad meters, hit number 1. It was a contest. So it was a contest for $1 million in a slot during the Super Bowl, and we won it. So the next morning after the Super Bowl, it was on the USA Today. The producers were on Jay Leno, and it just kept going from there.
So did you have a lot of Dorito bags after that?
Man, I had Dorito everything: Dorito hats, Dorito book bags, Dorito jackets,
Doritos, boxers, Dorito condom,
Dorito stickers, Dorito everything.
Dorito. All right, somebody appreciate that. It's a away game here, but that Dorito condom sound.
So, how did your comedy journey start? Because if I think we were riding together, you hail from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
So did you start in high school? You went to performing arts?
School for Creative and Performing Arts, downtown Cincinnati. Got on stage for the first time at 11. Had an agent. Was doing commercials and stuff as I, going
so that
through the
Dorito, that wasn't your first time on TV or nothing. So you was already kind of used to the jargon and how it would go and everything.
I was in the entertainment business early, so I was.
Do you remember the first commercial or your gig?
Yeah, I was in a Channel 12 news commercial on how to cross the street. I was in the 8th grade, and it came on the news. And I never saw it, but the next time I got to school the next day, they was like, "We saw you on TV." I was like, "I'm a celebrity." I did a 20-second infomercial on how to cross the street as a kid. Yep, I remember that. And then they booked me to be on stage in a stage play called Shenandoah in Franklin, Ohio, at Lockamedia Dinner Theater.
In Franklin, Ohio.
Yeah.
They got Tyrone.
Yeah.
Dude that played in
I
Franklin.
was 13 years old. I played a little slave boy. That was back in the day.
That's not surprising.
That's not a stretch. See, so we only ever get pimp, slave, or servant.
Well, let's get what can the boy
so
play?
they was like,
Slave.
well, we need there's Tyrone's over there. Can you say Yowza boss? It's like Yowza boss. Hey, you got the part. They paid me.
Oh my goodness.
I was getting paid. I was signing autographs.
You learned something.
Taking pictures as a kid.
Oh my goodness.
They was just destroying me. They was making a child actor out of me so that I could grow up and be a totally confused, depressed adult.
I was gonna say it's
Like
not
many-
a good history.
No.
So, but you went to when you went to the performing arts school, you were also there with some other.
Yeah, I went to school.
Well, they weren't known then, but
Yeah.
some of the people that you went to, you want
That's
to name
funny,
some of
man.
them.
Yeah. Carmen Electra.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, remember
really?
her?
Yeah.
She making she doing something too recently. I think something in Vegas. I'm
Didn't
not sure.
she? Wasn't
Nick
she that
Lachey
chick?
and 98 Degrees. Them was my homies.
Yeah, I
Was it-
remember that.
Wasn't Carmen the chick who was messing with Dennis Rodman? Was that her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that-
She left and went with Prince first.
Oh,
Prince scooped her up. Then nobody in school everybody was like, "Where's she at?" She's with Prince. That's all we ever heard for after school. I knew one of her ex-boyfriends. I was like, "Man, what?" Yeah, Prince scooped her up from me. What you do when Prince take your hoe from you?
You
You
lost.
don't do shit.
That's it.
Prince took my hoe.
You lost.
try-
You lost. He used it as a talking point.
try to fight him.
No, you can't fight Prince.
Wear
Back
the
in the-
blouse.
You just be like, hey, I had a bad girl, but can you imagine, like, Prince got her.
You had a bad girl. You out
Like, how
to
you
bad
gonna
her niggas.
How you
Like,
gonna compete with Prince, though? How?
I'm just saying. You
This ain't
got
little
points, but
androgynous-
damn.
You can't beat
You
Prince.
can't win.
Hold on. She had to have been a senior.
No, not at that time, man.
This is a different time, son. I
Let's just say he was
See, you
working
could-
with
I told you about
Let's
that.
let's just
I
say he was
told
working
you
with
about that. It was
Let's
a
just
different
because I don't
time.
want to indulge all in it. Let's
Look,
say
man,
he was working.
everything pre-cell phone is a different time.
They're gonna use this as a soundbite. God damn it!
I don't care.
That's all I'm trying. I'm trying to give you that road.
There you go. You
see
be
how
worried
Tyrone's
about-
getting quiet. That
You
nigga
be
about to
worried
do that
about
fifth Dorito
shit.
commercial.
I wasn't with Prince.
I want that fit, but okay, if you don't want to
It was a
organize that
different
Dorito
time,
bag
man.
next
That's all I'm
time.
telling you. Jerrel was a
Dude
different
probably called him, "Hey man, I want my girl back." No, you can't have her.
man.
She's
I
mine
saw
now.
Jamie Foxx take,
She belongs to me
Jamie
now.
Foxx take a dude's chick like right in front of him one
Oh
time.
hell no, man! You just
You
can't.
gonna ride with us or you gonna ride with him?
Just as a
I said,
man,
"Hey, Jamie got
bro.
your girl now. It's over.
It's his now.
I'm just gonna be real. If
You
I
ever
was
watched
as
the movie
big as
Goldie
those
the
guys,
Mac?
I would feel bad to just even play a nigga like that.
No, well, see, you got to be honored after a while. You become honored. You
That's
say,
a great
you go around
talking point.
telling everybody at Thanksgiving stories, and Prince took my girl from me. Did I ever tell you
Sure.
that?
So y'all
Video?
trying to say use it as a
See her in the video and everything. See all good. That's
Yeah.
Lisa. That's Lisa in the video. You know I used to mess with. She got a mole right here. Right
What
here.
is wrong?
Now
Get
she
that
right
old picture of
in.
y'all
That
together
sounds
like this is a.
depressing.
You
That's
know?
like the guy who went to homecoming with Beyonce and he
Yes.
broke up with her.
Exactly.
It's like one of
It's
those
the
just
same
sad,
thing.
like fuck, man.
Something
I don't want to tell nobody about that.
life, man. You
Well,
gotta-
y'all older, y'all get it. This story is
Man,
some
we
shit.
got to do a GoFundMe to get me a better chair, man. Shit.
He can't deal with it. He just can't.
It feels like I'm taking a shit, but I'm reclining. No, it just
That's one of those old people shower
like a-
chairs for you right there.
Man.
That's a
if I didn't have on these jeans, my balls would just be leaning over the front of this.
it's fabric. It's
just
fabric. So you
leaning.
wouldn't want.
These 50-something-year-old balls would just be leaning and just blowing in the wind.
Well, there's AC, so yes, your
You
balls
got the
will be
little
blowing.
squirrel
But
balls. This shit is still tight. This shit tight,
they're-
like together, like two slave chains.
I
This
never
shit
knew
won't
you
move
thought
at
about
all.
my balls this much, Ray.
I
didn't-
know it's just your age.
I haven't never
Anybody
thought
that wear
about
little skinny jeans got little balls. They still.
skinny
you know.
jeans because I'm skinny. Look, these are good seats. Tyrone, what are your opinions on,
I don't
on
have-
the seats? These
Hey
are
man,
I own one of these seats, so I endorse the
Hell
seats.
yeah. Well, but we'll get you a different. Hey, Unky, we're gonna start a Patreon.
Get him a milk crate.
So pretty. You said.
this shit like King's Island. You got to be this tall to sit here, and that's the opposite.
Oh, you're saying you need to be this small.
You got to be this small to sit here. I feel like Shaq right now. Just
Yeah.
I'm a dunk it. And
I want to scoot up, but I can't. I'm already.
You're
back
all the way up.
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
already
don't
saying
screw it
there's
up.
no-
You at, yeah.
Hey, check
But we
this
gonna
out.
make it work. We
I'm gonna
gonna
make
make
him
it work.
jealous. I'm gonna make him. Look at that. Look at that.
I can't. If I do that, I'm gonna be on the floor.
No, but in all serious, I never actually, cause y'all, how long have y'all actually known each other? Cause it's clear that you
man.
know more his,
You know
background
what?
and
I
everything.
don't even know when we met anymore.
Dude, it was like one day he
What's-
was just there. I showed up to to Wiley's. I started doing comedy in 2001.
Oh, and for people to know, Wiley's Comedy Club's oldest comedy club in Dayton, Ohio.
Together, we were both
That's where
the New Jacks.
I was. That's what I was thinking last night. I was like, where did I meet you? I thought
Or
about
was
that.
it with? Did you used to go to Todd Lynn's spot, the bar in
R.I.P.
Cincinnati? R.I.P. T. Lynn.
I got to work with Todd the first time at the Dayton Convention Center. I didn't know him previously to that. I mean, I knew of him, but we never worked together until then. So I think I met you at Wiley's.
Yeah, it probably was Wiley's or.
Was it the weekend you guys were on, or Mike?
Nah,
I don't remember. Just
it was kind of like one of those things where we met and we just instantly vibed with each other. Just the conversation just was like boom, solid.
We never really talked comedy too much. We just would talk. The funny thing is, like comedians, we'll tend to, as a comedian, you don't want to really hang out with the unfunny comedians.
Nah.
The ones who are still working on it. But this dude, he was funny. He'd been funny through the whole, like from the beginning. When you start doing comedy?
About 2001.
Somewhere around that same time.
That's what I'm saying. I remember we came in.
I was born that year. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
we've been going in for a minute.
And we would do our thing, and we kind of started doing shows. But Tyrone was traveling. Well, at one point I was traveling, he was traveling, and then he'd be out west doing more things, but I was still regionally doing my thing. So we always just managed to stay in touch. Every time he come into town, I make an effort to link up with him.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure. With the your show that you have at Wiley's, I think 2 years ago, you had Tyrone hosting. I was newer, and I never really had known of him or heard of him from like the Cincy scene, but I never would go down there that much back then. I was pretty new. But I remember you kind of threw me on last minute that night, and Tyrone hosted, man. I mean, just me being, especially fresh in the game, I was just like, God damn, this motherfucker is hilarious. And I was like, just in all seriousness, just his demeanor. It sounds rude to say, but you could just tell someone just has the look of funny. Like he was exuding funny before I heard him say anything.
He like funny guy, but a whole different style of like. He doesn't remind me of nobody, but that's just him.
And that's what you want, because everybody tries to push this narrative of when it comes to hosting, they're always like, energy, be the blah, blah, guy, be that, you gotta have that. And at that point, because there's 3 sets I've seen that changed my style of hosting. And that night in particular, I'm not gonna lie, Tyrone's set hosting really did impact me, because I was like, I'm seeing someone with a cool vibe and a low energy really control a room. Like, he really wasn't going, and man, I know you don't remember because y'all perform so much but I was just watching, and when it was 2 white dudes in the front of this almost all black show, and Tyrone's saying something about, hey, you ever go camping? And then there was no real setup where he just said it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Everyone was like, what? Just laughing. He was like, how about you, I know you had Mr. White Man. You got your little tent set. I was like, what is happening?
It's the whole demeanor of it.
Where are we going with this?
He points out, he's like, what's your name? He's like, Dylan. Got any black friends, Dylan? Black friends ain't black. Yeah, I got black friends. Ever take them out camping, Dylan? Ever take them out camping? And I heard it. Tyrone said that this dude said something, but at the same time, Tyrone said something. Tyrone says, oh, you probably didn't, because he probably was making too much noise for all the animals you were trying to hunt, scaring them off. He just didn't know when to be quiet.
Yeah,
but while he was trying to say that, the dude said, yeah, we was drinking. Like, he kind of stepped up. But Tyrone was like, whatever. He's like, oh, y'all were drinking. Well, what were y'all drinking? He was like, Hennessy, of course. Bro. And bro, the rest of the show became how this guy just said that racist shit.
Yeah,
And bro,
yeah.
Tyrone cooked him. I didn't even see him do his actual whatever his set was planned to be. He just and
He said Hennessy, of course.
Right when I go right up, because I'm like, well, I thought you were gonna keep going. Like, yeah, Newports, and he had a kid around him that he doesn't take care of. And and we just cut this dude, and I just that set particularly. Just I know it was a little detour explaining it, but
Yeah,
that
man,
really-
set it up for you, make it easier too. The next guy always come along. Where's dude at? Oh, there you go. Right, that's him. That was him right there.
You was him.
That was
Billy,
him.
you, huh?
Camping, huh?
So that's just what we, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's just
I
how
forgot
it-
about that.
Oh yeah, dude. That was a night for
That
me.
was a
I
good
thank
night.
Ray for even putting me on because I was just kicking it. I was just hanging out. And Ray's
Come
like,
here,
hey man,
you come and get your head. Come on up there.
Yeah. The crowd work, man. You after you get to a certain point, you can just go back and start doing your push-ups and pull-ups on crowd work.
Yeah.
Cause that right there keep you thinking fast. Make you aware on all levels of how to get the funny, and then harp on it and just stay there.
and reading the moment of it. But I mean, there's definitely, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's definitely some damn hiccups that arise sometimes when motherfuckers is in that crowd work, man. You be seeing, you be like, God damn.
It just can.
It could go, hey, and that's what's kind of fun about
But
it.
that's
sometimes,
the
though. You don't
that's
know.
the
sometimes
beauty,
where it's
like-
gonna go.
That's the thrill, yeah.
Like, you know, I use a sports analogy. Like the real good ones can do the end one basketball and then do the organized run the play.
Yeah.
We can run the play, or
Yeah.
we could get out here and we could freak it and do the tricks and shit. And we always see some of the new guys. And depending on, and what I mean is how we gonna kind of let y'all in on a little bit of the illusion of it. Depending on the venue where you are, dictates how you're gonna start a set sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of bar gigs, you have to kind of do crowd work for a hot second just to bring the people in. And then you can get them in, because now you're talking to them and it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But then the conversation stays a conversation, but the comedian goes into his act.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the illusion of the whole thing. The newer comics haven't figured out, how do I bring them in and still do my act? The newer comedians just do their act, and nobody's
Yeah.
like, bitch,
Yeah.
I ain't paying no attention to that motherfucker.
Hey, I'll do this scenario we've seen a million times right now, right, a million times. You guys have seen it way more times than me, but you see it, right? It's like a Tuesday night. It's like a little neighborhood bar. People playing pool. Dude rubbing the thick girl's thigh
Yeah.
at the bar there. Some people walking around talking on their phone. The host is like, all right, give it up for your next. And they clap, not knowing what they're clapping for. They're just clapping.
Mm-hmm.
And then motherfucking fight maybe starts off at the side at the pool table, and then the new guy's just up there like, hi, so the other day I was at the
Bitch, you
grocery store.
better have my money, motherfucker. Where Tommy them at? Is Tommy coming in tonight?
You know, she's still like, you guys ever buy bananas at the when you buy a pair of bananas,
You know
God
that-
damn it, where's
Goddamn, you know they got weeds 2 for $10 over there at Essence, baby.
People start texting.
Yeah. This motherfucker
Getting
ain't
loud
addressed shit
inside.
going on.
Because you know what that is? It's really the fear of sometimes even addressing it. Because like they're like, they think it's more scary to even address what's happening right now. When really no, it's actually more of what needs to be done right now.
The audience can sense the energy.
Yeah.
Or the lack thereof. They like wolves, and if you come up there and you looking like a sheep, they gonna eat you up.
Ah,
I saw a guy get booed as he walked up the steps to the stage before. I said, God, dog, this mother.
no, Tyrone, no.
Yeah.
No.
It was at the Funny Bone in Newport, Kentucky.
Oh, was that the Wednesday nights of the Wild
This was the
Wednesdays?
old Gary Owens Apollo night
Oh, okay.
back in the day.
So describe. So he's walking up. He didn't even give a hello.
Coming to the stage, such and such and such and such. She can boo. What happened? We didn't like his shirt. They did that to me too. Some girl didn't like my shirt one time at the show. It was an Apollo show, man. They was coming to boo you.
Yeah, they ready.
They stayed ready. I had them laughing for about 3 minutes or so, and then somebody just, you could tell the boo was coming because they started putting on chapstick on their lips. Like, I'm about to boo them. They had that little musical note thing. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, just boos erupted out of everybody. And then so Gary Owens came back on the stage. It was like, what happened? What? And some girl yells out, it was his shirt.
Not the act.
Not the act. Hey, she didn't like him. We didn't like his shirt. I remember before I went out that night, too, I took that shirt out the closet and was like, I'm about to kill him with this shirt tonight.
Can you tell us, do you remember what the shirt was?
It was a short sleeve, 2-button polo style, crushed velvet blue shirt. It looked very old. It was silky. It was like
you had a pop shirt on.
I had on somebody daddy's.
John Witherspoon on.
I had on somebody daddy's shirt.
That's a pop.
That's pop.
It wasn't even buttons. It was a zipper that went on it. It was dope.
Now I understand.
It looked like corduroy velvet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I picked that shirt.
You can't even get that here in Ohio.
They didn't even bother to cap on me. They just started booing like.
You would think you'd get someone just.
It was one of them shirts where if you did like this, it was one color, and then when you lay it back down, you do like this. Everybody does, right?
He had the carpet shag shirt.
That motherfucker had a carpet shag.
You gotta brush it all in the same direction.
Hey, I've known that shirt to get more of the longest hugs from women that you could have, because you feel it's textile.
Safe.
It feels like
girl just said,
a little bunny.
Shit, her ex had that shit.
Boo!
Boo! What happened to him? I hate his shirt.
I don't like his shirt.
Yeah, she was a hater.
That was a good. She probably
Palo style, man.
I got called at a hater one night up in. I got booed from off the stage from a guy sitting in front. Who was that? Shepard's show, Jack Shepard.
Jack Shepard. Oh shit.
We was up there in.
Man, that's going back.
It was up there in. What was that? Indianapolis.
Columbus.
That's Columbus.
Would have been Columbus.
I remember because Mason Pryor, Richard Pryor's son, first time we had linked up, and this dude shook the keys on me.
Ah, yeah.
Start shaking keys. Next thing you know, I was like, man, forget this. I'm out of here. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Jack came up. He was like, what happened? He was like, nah, we ain't doing this. And he brought me back on stage. I did my set. It was fine. It was just,
that's real. That's real shit. But it's one person just trying to
one dude started them up, and then everybody started doing it.
You know, it's funny when I was when I was in New York performing at the Apollo Theater. I was there February 2nd.
Apollo Theater, February 2nd. Stole
name on the marquee.
Jerrel Beamon.
But no, I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new comedian on deck. He's hot. He's new. He's young.
Jerrel Beamon.
Jerrel Beamon.
Okay, but while I was there, that thing you was talking about, like just it being one person who's just like, because the host was it wasn't even the host. I forgot who it was, but someone was doing fine. They were doing okay, and then I know where you heard somebody just. It was only 8 white people in the whole crowd, and this old white dude with this hot young black girlfriend. He just looks at her and goes like, he kind of said it noticeably loud. Like it was. I'm like, for what? Like, what are we doing? I felt it. Like they're trying to get something going. Let's nip this the fuck out the bud. Let's. It's probably just time to. Should we just take that break?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a hard.
Yeah, because I was right there at the. Look at that. That kind of flew too. That flew too.
All right, man. So now you're basically West Coast.
West Coast, Tacoma, Seattle, the Great Northwest, Puget Sound.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot of other things, not only performing, but go into kind of the more detail of what you've been working on now as far as the producing and everything.
So let me tell you my journey. I started out doing music. I had my own music studio. I was an engineer and producer, rapping, singing. Late 90s. Remember when Napster came out and destroyed the music industry?
Right.
Nobody was getting signed anymore.
Yeah.
CDs came out. I had lost a chance for a record deal with Sony Entertainment. I was talking to Jimmy Starks, who was at Columbia, Sony. Went to New York. Lost the opportunity for the record deal. Then so I'm like, man, my little girl broke up with me that I was with. My little fiance broke up with me. And so I was like, I need to change. So dude I went to college with in North Carolina Central University, shout out HBCU.
Shout out
to the HBCU, right. North Carolina Central
Coach
University.
No, never mind.
Coach, you know about that.
Yeah.
You from Central?
Central State, baby.
Central State, shout out to Central State.
My dad went to Wilberforce.
Wilberforce, shout out to Wilberforce for
baby.
sure. Yeah. So after I went to Central, man, I was on drumline too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Drumline, bro. Sticks, never dropped them babies, throwing them at each other, catching behind your back, all that, bro. Snare drum.
Right.
Yeah. Pep rallies, I was on this drum set. Anyway, long story short, I was deep into music. Then moved out to Tacoma, Washington, because my roommate from college, his wife was enlisted into the Air Force, and they lived out there now. And he was working for a publishing company. Come on out here, we just go straight, skip the record deal, just go get your publishing. So I went out there, man, did music out there for the first year, worked on my stuff, got my music on the radio, so I got publishing with BMI. That's where the Bulletproof Armadillo publishing came from.
Oh.
So yeah, so.
Explain that. I'm out the loop.
The Bulletproof Armadillo is one of my aliases, one of my business names on the music tip that I carried on through and kept for the comedy.
Okay.
So you could look up Bulletproof Armadillo, Tyrone Hawkins. You'll see stuff on YouTube. You know what I mean?
I am most definitely
some parody videos.
Parody videos, yeah, songs and stuff that I wrote through the years. Music couldn't pay any bills. It cost too much to studio time, all that, blah, blah, blah. Switched over to comedy, met a comedy promoter while I was at a bar one night. We joked around like we joking here. He was like, you should come do my comedy show. Went and did his comedy show. I think I came in third place, won me a little $20, $25. And I was like, you know, back in 2001, that 25, I was like, if I could do this.
That's a whole night.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's a meal, some gas.
Yeah. And that was third place. So first place, I was like, I might could keep doing this. $100, you know,
Man.
T-shirt and a hat. So I just went up there and started doing short jokes, and it don't cost nothing. It ain't need no equipment or anything, man. Got the comedy bug and kept going. So took it from there. I always liked the acting. So this is what I tell comedians too. Get a talent agent. Talent agents can get you them C-list and B-list commercials and voiceover joints, you know?
Yeah.
So I kept that going, did that, man. Just 2003, after, so I had my little idea and plan together, just keep doing comedy. In 2003, came back and did it in the Natty. Mad Frog. You all heard of the Mad Frog?
Yeah.
Downtown Cincinnati by UC. Did comedy over there, met the dudes that brought me into the fold at Go Bananas. And that's when I really started blossoming.
Yeah.
RooftopComedy.com came out in 2003. So I was one of the premier comedians to get on that new website. That jumped off, took us to the Aspen Comedy Festival. Then after that, my connection from Tacktown brought me to the Seattle International Comedy Festival. It took me to the San Francisco International Comedy Festival. And the grind, just keep your foot on the gas pedal. Like Mr. T, Clubber Lang, I got a lot of more. You know, so.
You hitting them hard.
So
right
you
now.
was everywhere.
Bro, I went on the road. Remember going on the road when there wasn't no phone with the GPS thing to tell you where to go, bro.
To this day, I still don't know how we got
how did we
to
do it, bro?
places we would get.
Bro, there wasn't no phone telling you. You had to. You had to have a map. Yeah, you had to have a map.
Unfold that.
You had MapQuest.
I had a MapQuest, so you actually had to
What's that? What's
MapQuest was like you would put
You print out your
where
route.
you're from,
Yeah.
where you're going, and it would just give it to you.
It would print your route out.
And then
too.
you would just print it out, and you just had like a sheet of paper.
Okay.
So, and usually you have somebody riding with you, like, tell me when I got to turn. But exit 55, then go down 2 miles and make a left on William Street. Go up. So you really had to just read all through that stuff, man. And
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd be like, well, how do I be a comedian? Well, you got to go on the road. That's what they tell you. You got to go on the road. Well, go on the road where? See, everywhere they ask you to come
No
tell
YouTube
jokes, you got to
back
go.
then.
Well, how was even finding out about mics back then? Because now you didn't just post a list.
You heard they tell you had to go to John Yoder. Remember Yoder?
Yeah.
Comedy Connection.
Or it'll be Yoder, or it will be like, see, like open. They didn't have all the. There was bar gigs,
Yeah, bars.
but bar gigs were usually always booked. So really, there was cell phones, but there was not camera phones. So people would find, you couldn't Google and all the shit. You could just a little bullshit Nokia. You know, hopefully, and back then nobody really had the money to keep up with a phone because your number might change 3 times in 6 months because I gotta get
Facts,
a phone
bro,
and
for
all
real.
this, and people are trying.
We had this. Remember minutes?
Yeah,
I actually do remember minutes. Now I'm feeling.
But you know how people would find you? They would call the club, like your home club, and they'd be looking for people.
Yeah.
And the manager or the owner of the club would make referrals, and they would, because that's how the bars, we'll call it comedy club so we can find some comics.
Yeah.
And then they would be like, man, I got Tyrone Hawkins, new guy, man. You need to get him. It's not going to cost you a lot.
Yeah,
and
that's where it can get going.
Yeah. And
back in them days, really hitting the road too. Like a lot of older comics tell me like it was the comedy condos.
Yeah.
You had when you do the clubs. Not a lot of clubs are really having shit like that.
They stopped
anymore.
it. It's in the past 10, 15 years. It's
it's kind of stopped, but it would be like, or you could do like a lot of B joints, and they would send you on what's called a run. Yeah. And you would do like 4 different spots in a week. And you could just like hit all these little towns or something.
Explain to like cats that really like what was the comedy condo setup like for like acts
like
that
they
were coming
would
through
they
the
would
clubs?
Either, man, we've been couch surfing, and you sleep with a friend, or like if you work the club, they would have like a little apartment or
it could be anything.
Something they rented out, or a little house or something, and the headliner would always get the best room, and if you was the feature, you might get the couch or something like that. And
because I've only experienced something like that once. Like
had you seen Wiley's?
Something like that? And you're right. The headliner, I peeped his room on accident. It was like super nice. I was on this fucking couch with like a bunch of stuff thrown all over it, and I had to like organize my own space on the damn couch.
Yeah, Wiley's used to have a condo.
Had you ever seen the Wiley's condo?
Nah, I
Condo
didn't even
for years, man.
Yeah,
celebrities, uncelebrities. Oh, we all stayed in that condo.
Just go to the condo. They had somebody come and clean it.
Had a little old picture of Opie when he was a little baby.
Yeah.
So stuff stays there through the years.
And then like Funny Bones used to more or less have like hotels.
Yeah.
And they would have like a thing with the hotel chain, whatever city you went to. Like when I was doing North Carolina, they would always have me like a residency inn or something. And
now it seems like the clubs is cutting back on all that now.
The pandemic came through here and just
even before the pandemic though, man, they was cutting back. Like how they say the the pay of comedy hasn't gone up for like hosts and features since like the 80s, but like it's actually kind of been going down with some clubs. Like now some clubs you as a feature each night you getting like 70 now and shit, and then the host is getting 40 now. It's no hotel, no condo. They just figure it out.
Everything's going more regional now. Like during the heyday of this thing, like in the early 2000s. Like right after like when the Def Jam explosion and what was that one with
Last Comic Standing really changed the game.
Yeah, cats was doing the tours. Like I first got put on, I was opening up like at Memorial Hall and down there in Cincinnati at the Aeronoff. Did that, and so they were like. Guys, and these were only like 2 or 3 comedians like packaged throughout the Def Jam years, man. So and then they would come and do the clubs. Like the clubs was going like from Thursday to Sunday. You know,
strong.
If you can get on,
and then you would have an open mic on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Then they would have the open mic. Yeah, the clubs did the open mic, so.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a lot of bars and all this stuff you see now.
So, as a young, inspiring young black man in this game, I think the only real serious question I can ask about this business to such special guests that we have here today, Tyrone. During all your time of traveling and networking, were you getting any like bitches during any of this time?
Ain't that a bitch?
Listen, that's all the young bucks think about.
That's all you
How can I use this comedy to get some booty?
You think he about to say some real deal?
I thought this was going to ask you how to start an LLC.
Was you getting any bitches?
How to get on Sirius XM.
Everybody was getting bitches in the day. Excuse my French, but everybody was getting it back in the... Look, man, pre-camera phone, man. It all went down.
It was a wonderful time.
It was a wonderful time, man. Like going to Atlanta.
Well, that's freaking.
Oh man,
that's just getting pussy. And I'm saying on the whole you say international tour, all this and that. You're meeting all sorts.
Like when you get into the scene, man, and
the scene,
like women like conversation.
Yeah.
So
you've just talked to them for an hour.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the man of my dreams.
I know you. I know him. And you're like,
and they just laugh, so all of the chemicals in their body are mixing together. Endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, all bringing a cocktail of juicy woman squeezings, waiting for you to release.
Wait, you guys can tell, he's clearly done radio. He's clearly done radio.
You have aroused their senses to the height of arousal.
Hear that voice. Hear how he's describing this.
Every move they make from that point on is about fucking.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and I don't say that word very often.
Yeah, you just get out there.
Now that I think about it.
When it jumps off, it jumps off.
Now that I think about it, I didn't even notice until you said this. You don't swear that often.
No. No need.
No, just you do.
I'm fat.
Well, you know what? So many comedians swear that I stand out more for not swearing. It's like if everybody has tattoos and you don't have any. Now you're odd man out.
Yeah. It's like a rapper not having tattoos nowadays. That was what you just said. Was people would look like where the hell's. But you stand out kind of. It's more unique.
It depends on how I feel now. You know, like in the past few years, I've been so frustrated with life and my personal. I have to cuss a lot more on stage. It was to help me, you know. But
it all depends.
It depends,
on where
man.
You are.
Cussing don't make you more funnier. It just make you.
It has
feel
to
like
be
how you want it.
With the content of the joke.
It should be.
Yeah.
You'll have comedians who just cuss too much.
You hear some and you're just like, why are they cussing?
Hey,
I call myself cussing too much. Like, that's not necessary. Why am I even saying all that? And just
all I know is on New Year's Eve, I was doing a show for a group of sobriety people. It's like an AA type of celebration thing on New Year's Eve at a church. Squeaky clean, 25 minutes, kill it. Next day, I was like at some fucking like hole in the wall hood spot in like Indiana, and
And it came right back. It came right back in.
Just so it can be, I know I can, but I'm just gonna be honest.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that.
So when I get the opportunity, if there's no limitation, unfortunately, it's just kind of, I talk. I wish that I didn't, swear or, say the N-word as much as I do. But it's just one of those things. I'm in a phase in my life where I'm just a little
cussing
too
is about money in the industry. So if they say if you can work clean, you make more money.
Get green.
So I was always about the papers.
Okay.
And then to this day, I make more money than a lot of comedians because I can give you different clean sets. It's just how the business works. Because the corporate amount is, you can do one show and make $5,000 corporate, but if you're corporate clean,
yeah,
you can work for a week and make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 if you're willing to do clean. So if you could work every week in a month, you can do them. Now you got 10 racks a month just working 1 hour a day.
So what is really, because I'm really, and some people may be interested in watching, what are the real parameters of like corporate clean versus like you would say like G-rated or church clean? Like what's really, when you're doing corporate, is it dependent on that specific gig, how they define it clean, or is there something in general?
It's in general. Clean is not dropping the F-bomb, not talking about sexual anatomy with negative words. And then, but in another setting, clean is that plus don't talk about adult topics.
Things that are taboo. So sometimes even if it's not in a way dirty, these topics are taboo and uncomfortable. So don't try to dwell into that. Okay.
Stay away from that and politics.
No religion.
And religion.
So no race,
race can be done, but it has to be
race. You
very light.
Yeah,
it has to be lighthearted.
You're walking on eggshells with race if you're going to corporate clean. If you're doing corporate clean, you're supposed to be talking about what the corporation would be interested in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you can talk. I did a corporate show, and they came and it was like, whatever you do not mention. It was something that Visa was going through. That whatever you do not mention Visa and associated with this bank over here. We don't want to hear that about our bank. We're going through this thing right now. Yeah. Don't make fun of it.
Heard you guys are going bankrupt.
Yeah, some comments just be like, so bankruptcy. Let's talk about it. Get him off. I don't like his shirt.
Tyrone wants his check, and he's going to let everybody know. Man, y'all better have my money on Friday. Meanwhile, Bob over there.
What's in your wallet?
Yeah. He's like, if y'all having problems, goddamn it, I need to talk about this. Where's my money?
You know that money ain't coming in. Get up the metal detectors.
I did a corporate show for the Plumbers Union.
Plumbers Union. Mm-hmm. You know what perplexes me about a lot of these corporate gigs? I was really dumbfounded till I got into comedy how many companies and places really want comedy. Plumbers Union. Like I know it's but the people at home, really, Plumbers Union was like,
Plumbers Union, you wouldn't think.
Now, break down how even that word, is there an MC? Is there an opener? Is it just you?
No, okay, so there's nobody knows what they're doing at corporate gigs.
No.
Nobody has a clue.
Do you have to take initiative?
They come to you and they say, well, look, listen, I don't care who it is either. If it's corporate, we're going to do the raffle first. And then we're going, and then Tom will. All right.
You're going to do the intro for
Hey, guys, I know you're eating all them.
the omelets.
Is everybody doing okay? Okay. Hey, here's a guy coming in. He's going to talk to you about some things. He does comedy from time to time. What's his name?
That's exactly.
Tito? No. Hey, guys, Tyrone Hawkins, guys.
Bro, that sounds like how a student director brought me up at a college once, bro. That's literally, it was like in the cafeteria. It was literally that. You literally.
That's exactly it. Sometimes they'll try to tell a joke.
Yeah.
Before you get on stage.
So you're saying basically really they don't know the format or no.
It's the company's Christmas party or their they don't know.
So, do you ever have an option to take more of the will of making it?
You've got complete control.
So, if
you're the comedian, you can do whatever you want to do. You just want to make sure that you don't do what you want to do. You want to do what they want you to. You're doing this for them. What do they need?
Yeah. Or if you're lucky, just be like, hey man, if you don't mind, man, just read this off this card.
That's super.
Just read that.
That's the smartest
that's the way
thing
to guide it right there.
I'll
read that,
and I'll take care of the rest.
See, this is a man who's learned along the way to make it easier on himself.
Oh yeah, man.
How long you been doing comedy?
It's almost been 4 years.
All right, you are going to start paying so much more attention to the little things that you didn't thought about before, like showing up to the show an hour before the show and going and looking at the room that you're about to be in. You will start looking at everything. What can I talk about before I go in? And then you go sneak a look at the people before the show, before you go on stage. You'll just be in recon mode. Your recon mode, once you get to be like 12, 15 years, your recon mode will be smooth. Some stuff you won't even have to do anymore. I don't need to go look at the people. I don't want to see them now. I want it to be a surprise to me, too. And you just keep changing and evolving, man.
I'll just look in the room and be like, let me see what the makeup is. Okay, a little bit older.
He'll count the room. How many of this? How many men? How many women? How many old? How many young? How many black? How many white? Others in there. Yeah.
It's recon.
Where the group at? Where the couples at? You know, just
any birthday party. I know they.
That bachelor party, that party, they're.
And then sometimes you can even gauge your act, because sometimes, here's the thing about corporate. Everybody wants corporate, but nobody wants corporate.
Yeah,
hey, y'all want me to be clean or dirty?
Is that
dirty?
The people who are at the corporate are they're just like me and you. Comedy to them is filthy filth, flaring filth.
Yeah.
And then when they know that they're at the job and they know that as a comedian that you can't say something and you're holding back, they'll politely sit there and listen. And that's not cool. Or you can get the loose ones, but a lot of time you get the little choked up.
Oh, they're like, I'm at the job.
You're grinding it out the whole way through. But if you creators like ourselves, though, it'd be funny. It'd be funny and pull it off. Everybody be satisfied. You get a nice check, go home. But don't nobody really want to do corporate.
Nah.
You want to do Def Comedy Jam.
Money. Yeah.
You want to do your hour special.
You want to get
whatever
loose.
you want. Yeah.
Because people want
you want to be able
loose.
to cuss the lady out and her boyfriend is sitting up front the whole time while they sit there and laugh.
Yeah, you want people to point at each other like that's him.
So
he does that.
Have you ever gone down the road of you're in corporate? Have you ever done some of those cruise shit type of gigs where you have to be clean? Or
yeah. I've been in the middle of that one for a few years. I done Holland Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Princess Cruise Lines.
So try to describe for people that aren't in the loop of how does that really work. Do they know more of what they're doing compared to corporate, and how do you go about getting into even something like that? Did they reach out to you? Did you submit?
Are you saying how to become a cruise?
Yeah,
ship
like how
man?
did you start getting really into it? And how was it when you started?
So this is the cruise ships. A comedian on a cruise ship used to only be reserved for a comedian who's retiring from being on the road. That was his putting out the pasture, was to send him on a cruise ship gig because they paid so much and they got a vacation, and you're done on the road, you go hit the cruise. Now, because cruise ships are becoming more family oriented, they're becoming more like Las Vegas. They're trying to make it more appealing so they can bring a young black guy in now.
Yeah.
They're diversifying. They want people from different walks.
They got the clean show, then they got the late show.
I've heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
the clean shows, there's family, everybody will be there.
Yeah. It may be like 3 comedians on the ship now.
Yeah.
So,
And then the adult show is just like you out at the.
Feels
you
like they
get to
brought
do
the
your-
club to the.
You get to do your thing.
It's a theater now. It used to be like just a nice little room, and
it's a theater
now
now.
it's a full-fledged production.
Now you can practice way more than any comedian you ever knew because you're getting paid to practice. You're on a schedule. You got multiple shows. Your crowd is already set for you. You got 1,000 people there waiting on you, and you're getting the repetition that you need. You can be a comedian as many years as you want, but whoever's the best comedians are the ones who train the most. Just like any other soldier, any other student, any other athlete.
It's like sports, yeah.
It's reps. The more I got a lot of reps because of all of the years I've been on stage. And the cruise ship industry will hook you up for that. You get your reps to get to the cruise ship by going around to all the clubs. We fishing, man. You don't never know who gon'. You pulled off something that me and him haven't been able to pull off with all the years we've been doing comedy. And here you go in 4 years and you land a major move, bruh. Chess move. Now it's up to you to keep moving the chess pieces around and stay, stay moving with it. But it all comes when it comes. A TV commercial will come for you. Late night television spot will come for him. A gig or commercial will come for me. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but it's not going to happen if you ain't on stage.
Yeah. But even right now, this is another form of technology that we did not have in the beginning of our journey.
Yeah,
so
man.
Now, this just
you coming in at a
this
good
could
time,
go viral, and the numbers just go boom. We gotta get that guy.
Hey, that damn Prince taking a motherfucker's girl. That's what's gonna do it. That's
there you go.
Man, nah, in all seriousness, man, I really wish we had just all the time in the world to just soak up more of the stories and knowledge and shit from you, Tyrone. But we do. It's like when the bar is playing that song at the bar. It's like you know.
They cutting the lights on.
Time, like it's so we coming we're coming near an end. So just to tell the people, man, your social medias or website or where they can find you.
ComedyRoneZone.com. Comedy Rone like Tyrone T. You know what I mean? ComedyRoneZone.com.
There it is.
And then check me out on YouTube and social media. My phone number is I'm gonna do.
Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Hey,
bro.
thank you, man.
No
It's
problem.
been like the smoothest interview we've probably ever done.
Yeah, man,
It's we should have had some incense lit and some jazz playing in the
man.
background.
I feel like people gonna just get relaxed by his voice.
Yeah,
That's why I feel
this
sad.
was
Yeah, man. If we could get some weed
this
next
was
time and smoke like Mike Tyson and them do on his podcast.
Ooh-wee.
Here, smoke this. Tell me if you like it.
I don't smoke marijuana. My parents told me drugs were bad. I don't.
You're right, man.
Yeah.
Scratch that. There'll be none of that.
You do a whole 6 minutes on edibles.
God damn it. Look at Ray. Okay. But no, Unk Nephew podcast, man. Thanks for
Nephew.
checking this episode out,
Thank
man. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok, Instagram, everything. You can find us at
All
Unk Nephew,
platforms.
Unk with a K. I am your co-host, Jerrel Beamon.
Yeah.
Raymond Jackson.
Yeah.
And we
One time for our
appreciate y'all.
guests.
Well, yeah,
Tyrone
man. Much
Hawkins.
love for really pulled through, man.
Y'all made my
man.
night.
Y'all be safe. We out.
All right. One.
Nah, that was dope.
Good stuff, fellas.
Yeah.
That's dope. That was like a smoother than remember when Harrison just
Thank
went
you, man.
by?
Yeah.
Quick? This was
Cincinnati guys,
Especially-
he's smooth.
yeah, because with Harrison it was way more just crazy. We're saying all sorts of wild shit. It was like moments of real cool, real shit. That was
Some good insight for there's our timer. Some good insight for younger comics and shit. Just listening to
yeah,
Like, you know,
for sure.
Being in the business as long as you have, dude, it helps just listening to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of comedians that watch our
I
shit.
got a lot of help too
Yeah.
through the years, man. They take when you do comedy, especially like if you get to work with a celebrity or something, you seem to trust them more because they're like they really know.